Today on Investigate TV Plus, it's the system responsible for keeping the skies safe. But after recent tragedies, close calls, and outages, experts say America's air traffic control network has reached a critical point.
We can no longer kick the can down the road, as the saying goes. We need to sit and fix the problem.
We dig through more than a decade's worth of aviation data to examine the issue and explore a new plan designed to overhaul the system and keep you safe when you fly.
Plus, an emerging group of violent extremists use disturbing tactics to exploit children online.
It shocks the conscience.
We examine the rising threat and reveal the key strategies to protect your child in a digital age.
Then, tapping into talent. Meet the instructor who inspires dancers to find their rhythm.
I get chills when I teach it. I get chills when I talk about it.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
No matter your destination, every time you board a plane, you put your trust in those working both in the air and on the ground to keep you safe. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich, but in the critical role of air traffic control, we uncovered serious concerns about staffing, communication problems, and tech issues.
With January 2025's deadly crash in Washington shining another spotlight on aviation safety, but the problems plaguing the system aren't new. 2026 marks 20 years since the crash of Com Air Flight 5191 in Lexington, Kentucky.
It was definitely the most tragic thing.
Records show that after attempting takeoff on the wrong runway, one that was too short, the plane failed to take off and instead crashed through the perimeter fence and trees and burst into flames. The crash killed 49 of the 50 people on board, including Charlie Likens, a beloved father, husband, and brother.
It was the perfect storm of everything that could go wrong, went wrong, and if any one thing had been different, it probably would have changed the outcome.
The investigation revealed the air traffic control tower was understaffed at the time, with just one person manning both the tower functions and radar.
That's just one example of the hundreds of crashes and close calls we uncovered that are linked to air traffic control.
Investigative reporter Josie Sturman digs into the reports to show you the long-standing problem as leaders at the highest levels work to find solutions to keep you safe in the skies.
Runway 28 right, taxi via Alpha.
When you're playing traffic cop for airplanes across the nation,
United 827, Academy Ground Information, Julia, current advisor, we have it.
people like Matthew Schofield know you leave very little up in the air.
When I plugged in, I was the alpha male. I told planes where to go.
He spent decades as an air traffic controller. Now he's at Nashua Community College, where a team is gearing up to teach the next generation of controllers, using a simulator to train for any future scenario they could experience.
Here we're able to simulate it, stop it, talk about it. So God forbid this does happen in real life. Again, you got that tool in your box. Hopefully you use it.
It's a critical lesson at a time when mistakes and problems in the real world have put aviation safety under an intense microscope.
The fact is, an aging system poses an untenable risk to safety.
That scrutiny started in January with the deadly crash between a military helicopter and a commercial flight that killed 67 people at Washington, D.C.'s Reagan National. The tragedy shining a harsh spotlight on air traffic controller shortages that have plagued the system since the 1980s. And in the months since, a series of outages in major towers across the nation, including a 90-second blackout in Newark, are once again drawing attention to the system's dated technology.
We can no longer kick the can down the road, as the saying goes. We need to sit and fix the problem.
They're issues John Golia knows have plagued the air traffic control system for decades. He saw them up close as a member of the National Transportation Safety Board, investigating aviation crashes. Now he's seeing them again, looking at the findings of our national investigation, which examined NTSB reports and data dating back to 2010.
Time to deal with it.
In that time frame, our team found the agency investigated at least 135 accidents or incidents where air traffic control was listed as a cause or contributing factor. Those include close calls, as well as mid-air or runway collisions, at least 40 where people were killed.
But there's negligence on the part of many of the so-called leaders that have seen these problems and not addressed them.
Problems that have also been highlighted again and again in stunning reports to the Aviation Safety Reporting System, which allows pilots and air traffic controllers to confidentially log safety incidents with the government. In the last 15 years, our team found more than 18,000 reports involving air traffic control.
And that's just an indication of A, the system is overloaded.
Pushed to its limits, as evidenced by recent stories we uncovered in the system. Pilots reporting being forgotten by air traffic control in busy traffic as they headed straight toward a mountain. And a plane forced to go around seconds before landing after hearing another flight cleared for takeoff, with the tower asking, "I forget, did I clear you to land?" And it's not just those in the air sounding the alarm. Controllers have logged thousands of reports about incidents related to workload and faulty technology, including an incident involving a plane needing priority handling that couldn't get help because the controller said they didn't have the resources, calling out the unsafe working environment and mental health strains of the job. And a controller blaming a total lack of radar in complicated airspace near Seattle for nearly causing a mid-air crash, writing, "We're going to watch a lot of people die one day, and I hope I am not working when it happens."
I felt their pain.
They feel the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
As air traffic control shoulders the burden and stress, the Department of Transportation and Congress are feeling the pressure on damage control to fix the system and reassure the public.
I do want to stress, our airways are safe.
Representative Sam Graves is trying to make them even safer, shepherding a plan through Congress that would pour billions into new radar, telecommunications, and guidance systems in towers across the country. Still, the work could take years.
You can't just shut the system down, overhaul it, and then turn it back on again. We have to continue to operate.
And have air traffic controllers at the ready.
We want to teach the next generation to be better than us to keep us all safe.
Now that we know the problem, we want to talk about one potential solution.
In July 2025, the federal government allocated billions of dollars to the FAA to modernize its air traffic control system. The overhaul, introduced by Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, provides funding until 2028. In March 2025, the industry group representing air traffic controllers said it supported the plan, but said without proper staffing, the money being spent on the overhaul won't yield its full potential. We have more examples of what air traffic controllers have reported to federal officials. Head to InvestigateTV.com and search Up in the Air.
As leaders search for solutions, the FAA says a different kind of threat to passenger safety is on the rise.
A lot of people closing their eyes and trying to text their loved ones.
We explore the cause of mid-air collisions like this one and reveal how a pair of 4 paws fits into fixing the problem.
But first, disturbing crimes against children online.
I was shocked as a law enforcement investigator. And for me to be shocked, I see a lot of things.
We examine so-called Gore groups and reveal real-life strategies for keeping your child safe.
For parents raising kids in the digital age, knowledge of the ever-evolving threats online can help you protect them.
That's why we want to talk about a group on the FBI's radar that has targeted players of games you might be familiar with, such as Minecraft and Roblox.
We do want to warn you, what we're going to talk about is disturbing, but experts say parents knowing about the problem can help lead to solutions.
We'll get to those solutions in a moment, but first we want to dig into what the Anti-Defamation League calls Gore forums or Gore groups, specifically a group called 764.
Yeah, according to the ADL, it's a decentralized global network of online communities that glorifies violence and exploits children, particularly girls who face mental health struggles.
Experts say those associated with the group, who are sometimes minors themselves, lure children from gaming platforms and social media to a private space, typically messaging apps such as Discord or Telegram.
From there, investigators say members groom victims over time and often pressure them to engage in increasingly extreme behaviors to test their loyalty to their abuser by coercing them to send images or video of sexually explicit behavior, self-harm, or other illegal and violent content, such as killing family pets.
The FBI says this extreme online activity has already victimized children as young as 9 years old.
Some law enforcement at the local level say they're also encountering cases involving Gore groups.
Reporter Adrian Thomas explains how one department in a Portland, Oregon suburb discovered what investigators there call a disturbing crime.
In this case, it did take a dark turn very quickly. The content was, to me, disturbing. I was shocked as a law enforcement investigator. And for me to be shocked, I mean, I see a lot of things.
Sergeant Brandon Clausen of the Lake Oswego Police Department experienced a career first while working as a detective. He was contacted by the FBI in Portland to help investigate an alleged sex abuse crime happening in Lake Oswego, but the suspect was more than 3,000 miles away. According to federal court documents, the victim, a 14-year-old girl in Lake Oswego, had met a man in his early 20s in Florida using Instagram. Clausen and his colleagues quickly discovered a pattern of manipulation and solicitation of sexually explicit material from the man over messaging and social media apps like Discord, X, and Telegram. Clausen and the FBI would quickly find out the man was engaging in behavior consistent with Gore groups, something Clausen hadn't seen before.
That was the first one, to be honest, yeah. I'd never heard of it, never even would have considered that would be something that people would be into or be doing. A Gore group is a group that not only grooms victims, but delights in sexual violence, sexual torture, sexual rape, murder. It shocks the conscience.
Just days after the initial investigation, the FBI got permission from the victim's parents to pose as her on the different messaging platforms to determine where the man might be and gather more evidence. And in just a few days, the FBI was able to trace an IP address to a residence where 24-year-old Juan Sebastian Perez lived in Naples, Florida. That's where agents executed a search warrant.
He admitted to everything. He was even working on grooming other girls, unfortunately. He was part of, like you mentioned, a Gore group.
FBI Portland Special Agent in Charge, Doug Olson, says these kind of crimes are being seen more frequently, and that people and groups involved often use less monitored platforms like encrypted messaging apps.
What's the prevalence of some of these kinds of cases in Oregon and the jurisdiction that you cover?
It's here. I mean, it's definitely here. I know of 2 cases that have been fully adjudicated and then 4 active cases that we're working on right now. That doesn't mean we are a hot spot for this type of activity. It just means we're not free of that type of activity.
In March 2025, a judge sentenced Perez to 30 years in federal prison after he pled guilty to charges related to child sexual abuse and child pornography. In Portland, Oregon, I'm Adrian Thomas.
Again, the purpose of talking about this isn't to scare parents, but to inform them.
Yeah, so we want to get into the strategies on how to protect your child.
First, experts say it's okay to acknowledge this is uncharted territory for many of us parents.
We grew up playing outside until it was dark and not having access to cell phone, learning to drive without a cell phone, being able to be connected with our friends through social media. So it is scary because we don't know, we don't understand what's happening, but it is important to pay close attention to it.
Parents are encouraged to set content time limits and to routinely check privacy settings on their kids' social media accounts. But most importantly, you should talk with your kids about their internet use and the risks early on and often.
Always encourage teenagers to certainly don't be afraid to talk to your peers about it, but also to report to an adult.
Still ahead, a step back in time allows former dancers to rediscover their talent.
Do you remember? I know you do. I know you do. Ready?
We tap along with the ensemble, bringing new life to a popular pastime.
Gives them an opportunity to get out there and maybe pursue a dream that they always had but couldn't do.
But first, competing for airspace leads to collisions for some planes and wildlife.
Birds can do a lot of damage to an aircraft.
We explore some solutions already in the works that experts say have seen rapid results.
It's a mid-air encounter becoming more frequent for private and commercial flyers alike.
A lot of people closing their eyes and trying to text their loved ones.
And one Greg Carfagna experienced an American Airlines flight 1958. In April 2023, just after takeoff from Columbus, Ohio, flames started spewing from the right side of the aircraft.
You could see where the birds hit. It wasn't all that pleasant.
Birds and planes have been competing for airspace for more than a century, and it sometimes results in collision. Between 2022 and 2024, reports of bird strikes to the Federal Aviation Administration increased by about 30%.
While they're obviously dangerous for birds, they can harm humans too.
Airports have implemented a number of solutions to minimize the risk of bird strikes.
Many focus on habitat management, such as relocating nests or playing loud sounds to deter flocks.
But at West Virginia's largest airport, you'll find a team dedicated to keeping birds at bay so planes can safely take off.
Reporter Taylor Eaton introduces us to some pups on patrol.
Next time it's wheels up at West Virginia International Yeager Airport,
Enemy!
Look down, because you just might catch a glimpse of these two at work.
Easy, boy, easy. You know, he's getting a little age on him, and so we decided to give him a little helping hand.
Meet Yeager's newest four-legged friend, Ned. The Border Collie comes with a resume airport staff thought would make him a great addition to the team.
Good. Ned was trained to run goats and geese when we got him. And we brought him back here to the airport, and he's done a fantastic job. Hey, wait! Ned has come so far, and watching Herc work the field, he's become the same habits and everything.
So what exactly are these two pups patrolling? Well, the airport is unique as it's situated on a mountain. So, you guessed it, birds and other wildlife can create problems on the airfield.
Birds can do a lot of damage to an aircraft.
That's why the work Hercules, Ned, and their handler Chris Yeager put in each day is so important.
Oh, come on, come in here. All right, good boys. And these dogs have made about 70% difference in our bird strikes since we've been working here at the airport. Come on, shh. Look, 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 look.
We'll call them scarecrows on four paws because they don't hurt the birds, just scare them off.
To pay attention to what's out here in the field to keep them run out.
And speaking of run, these two do a lot of it, miles worth each day.
The air traffic controllers do a fantastic job here at the airport. They always got their eyes on the field. If they see a deer, groundhog, fox, or flocks of birds, they'll holler into the arc where I work at. I need to bring the dogs and run them off.
Guardians of the runway.
Good job, boys, good job.
Birds make up the vast majority of wildlife strikes, about 96%, but the FAA has also received reports of strikes involving deer, coyotes, and bats.
Still ahead, Soul Sisters.
The bond is really incredible.
We've become family. I mean, we really have.
We reveal the inspiration behind a group tapping in tune.
In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, a tap dance ensemble brings fancy footwork and fun together.
Reporter Lauren Korn takes us to the studio, inspiring some to dust off their dancing shoes.
It's the strike on the floor creating a rhythmic sound.
1, 2, 3, hop.
That has Michelle Salvanto-Kowalski excited for more.
3 and 4, pivot. I get chills when I teach it. I get chills when I talk about it. Do you remember? I know you do. I know you do. Ready?
Michelle spent more than 45 years teaching tap in New Jersey.
So throw it out.
Before moving to Myrtle Beach in 2014.
Yeah, like, hey. Okay.
She teaches all ages here at Coastal Dance Center.
Ready, girls? Come on in.
But it's the adults who impress and inspire her the most.
Their passion in the tap class, they just kept going and going. And that's what I said, you know what? Something clicked and said, let's do this. Go over some of the things from last week.
Michelle created a group just for adults, launching Carolina Rhythm Tap Ensemble.
It gives them an opportunity to get out there and maybe pursue a dream that they always had but couldn't do. Okie dokie?
Okie dokie. Like Trisha Heilman.
Took a little while to get back into it again.
I'm on a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
And Susan Krajewski.
I loved it. It was my passion.
The women grew up tap dancing, but hung up their shoes for their career, family, and children.
Right, face.
That is, until now.
I had some life changes, so I said, you know, I want to get back into dance, and I saw that the Coastal Dance Center offered the adult tap classes, and I said, let's do it. Ready? Go.
And then when I saw the advertisement for dancing classes here, I said, oh my God, this is it. This is what I have to do.
Box step.
The women also say the ensemble is more than just heel and toe taps.
2, 3, and 4, step.
The bond is really incredible.
We've become family. I mean, we really have.
She makes it very easy. It's a fun environment. There's no stress, no drama. I walk out of here every class. My sides hurt because I'm laughing a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a balanced combination of learning and laughter.
Every dance tells a story, but tap, you hear the story.
And in this story, you can hear the laughs,
Just like when he was live.
the support,
I'll be right with you.
and appreciation
You ready? Here we go.
that makes up the Carolina Rhythm Tap Ensemble.
CRTEBAB, you! I love it.
Wow, that takes me back. I need to dust off my tap shoes.
You're a tap dancer?
I was a tap dancer
Any
for
good?
a little while.
You gonna do a little for us right here? You still got it?
No, I need to practice.
Practice,
but
yes.
I'll practice and I'll come back and
You'll
I'll
come back?
put on a bit of a show.
We're gonna remind her about that.
That's okay.
Yes,
I can do it.
All right, we'll see. All right, that's it for us. The show's coming soon, but that's it for us now on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, telemedicine can be a lifeline for patients with chronic illnesses, but we found in many rural areas, slow internet means patients can't connect to the care they need.
There are so many layers of disadvantage impacting these communities when it comes to digital access and digital technologies.
We uncover the challenges and the small town solutions bridging the digital health divide.